Commit to the work. Faith, business, and the dance of surrender. The complex dance of faithfulness and trust. Life and business is a dance between faithfulness and surrender. You and I get up every day with tasks in our hands, projects on our desks, and dreams in our hearts. We strategize, we plan, and we hustle. But here's the truth. No matter how hard we work, there are always variables out of our control. Markets shift, clients hesitate, opportunities vanish. That's where Proverbs 16:3 breaks in with piercing clarity. Commit to the Lord whatever you do, and your plans will be established. The word commit in Hebrew paints the image of rolling a burden off your shoulders onto someone stronger. Think about that. You're carrying the weight of deadlines, the pressure of quotas, the desire to succeed, and God says, roll it onto me. That doesn't mean you quit working. It means you work with freedom because the outcomes are no longer yours to carry alone. And that's the dance. Faithful action paired with radical trust. Success isn't achievement, it's alignment. Here's where most of us get it twisted. We think success is about reaching the milestone, hitting the number, or closing the deal. But in God's economy, success is about alignment. When your work is committed to Him, your plans are established. Not because every dream comes true, but because your work becomes tethered to His purposes. It gains a firmness that no market shift or leadership shakeup can undo. Think of alignment like tuning a guitar. You can play all the notes you want, but if the strings are out of tune, the sound is off, no matter how hard you strum. Committing your work is tuning your life to God's key. Suddenly, what you play resonates. It carries weight. It endures. So the question is not, am I achieving enough? The question is, am I aligned enough? The tension between control and surrender. Let's be honest, this is hard. It sounds simple to commit your work to the Lord, but in practice, it demands continual surrender. You can't just do it once and check it off a list. It requires returning again and again to the moment where you release control and let God carry the outcome. That's the tension we all feel, whether in business or in life. We want certainty. We want guarantees. But Proverbs 16:3 doesn't offer guarantees of our outcomes. It promises that when we roll our work onto God, He will establish the plans that matter most. And here's the sting. Sometimes the plans He establishes look different from the ones we wrote in our journals or pitch decks. That's where trust deepens. That's where character is formed. That's where faith shifts from theory to reality. Your job is obedience. God's job is everything else. There's a phrase worth engraving on your wall. Your job is obedience. God's job is everything else. You plant the seed, you water the soil, you position it in the sunlight. But only God makes it grow. You show up, you strategize, you pour your energy into your craft. But only God establishes what endures. This truth is liberating. It frees you from the crushing weight of thinking you alone must make things succeed. It also challenges you to stop sitting back and waiting for God to do what He's called you to steward. Your work matters. Your diligence matters. Excellence matters. But you were never meant to carry outcomes you can't control. The gifts in your hands are for Him. Romans 12 reminds us that each of us has been given different gifts: teaching, leading, encouraging, creating, giving, serving. These aren't random. They're intentional deposits from a God who designed you to contribute. That means your leadership, your creativity, your ability to manage complexity or inspire teams. All of it is sacred when surrendered to Him. In business terms, think of it like intellectual property. God has invested His unique IP in you. How you leverage it is up to you. But the moment you use it to honor Him and serve others, it multiplies beyond what you could imagine. So ask yourself, am I leveraging my God-given gifts for self-glory or for God's glory? Am I using them to build my own kingdom or to advance His? Application for life and business. Here's how this lands where you live and work. Spiritually, you are invited to shift from anxiety to peace by rolling your work onto God daily. Start every morning by surrendering your plans before they even begin. Relationally, view your work as service to others. Every project, pitch, or conversation is an opportunity to reflect Christ's love in how you treat people. Professionally, pursue diligence, strategy, and excellence, but hold outcomes with open hands. Success is found in being faithful to what's in your control and releasing what isn't. This is not about passive spirituality. It's about an active partnership. You work with intentionality. God establishes with sovereignty. The final thoughts. So today, whether you're stepping into a boardroom, teaching a classroom, building a business, or leading a family, hear this challenge. Roll your work onto God, not as a slogan, not as a last-ditch prayer when things go sideways, but as your daily operating system. Stop clutching the weight of outcomes. Start walking with the freedom of alignment. Because in the end, success isn't what you accomplish. It's who you become when your work is committed to the Lord.